Welcome to Man Talk 133, where men unite.
Yes,
Welcome,
sir.
y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Help us get to 5,000. What's going on, my boy?
I ain't know what's happening with you, man.
Ain't nothing to it, dog. I
Uh,
got a little something. Got a little something I want to talk to you about. Maybe you can get the boy some insight on it. So,
okay, what we got?
so I was thinking about it, man, today, and just kind of this week, and I was
hmm
like, yo, this would be a good thing to talk about on the podcast.
Okay.
How do you think not growing up in church helped you or hurt you?
Hmm. It's a good question.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
but I can give you a couple of answers though.
Yeah, go
Like
ahead, roll with it.
right off the bat, you know what I'm saying? Like for me really growing up outside of the church when we
Hmm.
grew up when cause like I said, we know we might have had a little bit of church, but when like go like
Nah,
others,
stuff. Yeah,
someone was in there, 24/7 if you want to call it like that or
yeah.
whatever. But I say growing up, man, it without being in church. Now I don't want to give the church a bad name, bad look when I say this,
Hmm.
but I say growing up without church like that is kind of it for me, it kind of you kind of I kind of got a rough, my rough edge, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I kind of,
yeah,
kind of got, I say kind of grew up kind of quick. So I
yeah.
kind of knew, we kind of knew what the world had to offer cause, in church, like I said, I don't want to give church a bad look, you know what I'm saying? Cause people
Oh no,
think that people
you
in
got
it,
to say you got
yeah.
to say what it is, though, dog.
Oh yeah. Cause people think people go to church is soft.
Yeah, you got to keep
You
it
know what I'm
thorough with
saying?
them, though. Yup.
Right. So I'm saying so growing up not going to church as a youngster,
Hmm.
I grew up hard.
Yeah, I think
You know,
I'm with you, man. I think it kind of, well, for me, I think it helped me.
yeah, it helped there. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Because
Help, but
yeah, because
yeah,
it kind of gave me, like, how to maneuver in the streets without being
right,
without being naive, thinking,
right,
because sometimes you grow up in the church, they paint pictures
mm-hmm,
of, everything, the world is so perfect, like,
right,
you got, how David,
right,
now he was a killer, don't get it
right.
twisted. He was a
Oh yeah,
killer, but the stories that they tell, the Bible, the biblical stories, it make
mm-hmm,
it don't give you a realistic perspective on, like, life and how
right,
it really is in the, as they call it, in the jungle. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And see, a lot of kids that really grow up in church,
Hmm.
they don't grow up in the jungle.
Right. They protect
So
and
they
shield it.
so they don't know what it is, and that's why a lot of people that's outside of the church look at people inside of the church and they
Hmm.
look at them as soft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it helped us because we didn't grow up soft.
Hmm.
But but in the long run, as we got older and we came back to church, we knew what the perspective of church was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what needed to be done. But I would say it helped.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not growing up in the church like that.
Yeah. And I'm with you. It helped, but then the other side of it too, when we were younger, it hurt because, like, we didn't
Right?
really we didn't understand, like, when we used to hear somebody as a virgin. Boy,
Yeah.
you the biggest cornball, doc. I was just
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah. Yeah. You got like you say, you got to say it like you got to say it. You
Yeah,
know.
like, yeah, you would have protected your innocence more. It's like, somebody got,
Mm-hmm.
somebody, like, you got daughters, now you think about it
Mm-hmm.
from that
Mm-hmm.
perspective. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
was more so like uh, like, you want their innocence to be protected, but back in the day, we ain't care
Right.
nothing about that, and that's probably the side that hurt. Drinking at a young age,
Yep.
partying at a young age, and
Yeah.
doing all that kind of stuff like that. But the, like you said, something that was key that I want to touch on. You were saying people
Okay.
think that people in the church soft.
Right.
Y'all gotta understand, majority of the people that in church now came off the street. So y'all
Right.
need to drop that
Right.
perspective before you run up in somewhere and
Right.
you run into the wrong church. That's all I want to say
E-
about that.
Exactly. Because like I said, all these men and women, but we just using men right now.
Yeah,
All these men in church now, that's in
yeah.
church today, they ain't just came from heaven. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they ain't
They
got no
ain't soft.
halos.
Yeah, they done had some type of career with them now.
Yeah, yeah. Check the
Fighting,
hey,
drinking, whatever.
run a
You know.
background check on it. That's all I'm saying, Doc.
Right.
You better
Right.
check their resume
Yeah.
or something.
And that's the stigma, whole stigma of church, man.
Yeah,
You see the
yeah,
guys, they dressed up, they got their little suit on or their little
yeah.
khaki pants and their little dockers or whatever.
Hmm.
And the guys on the street be like, oh man, cornball, man, he's soft. You know what I'm saying? But
That's what they
hey,
think.
like you say, you better check the resumes.
You
You know what
better
I'm
check
saying?
them because some of them been through some real serious stuff. They just
Right.
the point that I'm making is in this part right here is that hey,
Hmm.
because I'm gonna go to the next part and then you can kind of
Okay.
elaborate more on what you said. The point I'm
Hmm.
making is that just because you in church
Right.
or you see people in church, don't get the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
you gotta approach them with respect because
Yeah.
some of them,
Right.
like you say, they ain't got that. They ain't all the way there. I mean, they there, but
Yeah.
they can
Right.
flip back real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's just like how some guys, they can probably now a lot of people probably do school age kids like that
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
have some school age kids that grew up in the church. We had them in school, some school age kids that went to church all the time, but
Hmm.
we didn't bother with them like that. Some people did. We
Some people,
still
yeah, they
respect,
call
yeah,
them
we
nerds
still
and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we still respected them because our mom and our grandparents went to church. So even though
yeah,
we didn't go, so we still respected those guys.
yeah,
Yeah, it was what it was. Your mom and dad, y'all go to church all the time, but we
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but we respect y'all. But like I said, that's how a lot of times these days, like some kids get
Hmm.
bullied like that because
Yeah,
oh, you grew up and you go to church all the time, and
yeah.
you soft and this, that, or whatever. So that's one aspect that can hurt them for going to church as growing up.
As growing up. Now that leads to my
Right.
next question too, though. Now,
Hmm.
how is being in church now helping you
Hmm.
or hurting you?
Well, it's definitely helping. It ain't hurting at all.
Yeah,
It's helping, man. Give me a different perspective on life, man, and
yeah,
stuff like that. And I can, like I said, I just learned, a lot of stuff that was wrong back in the day.
yeah.
That don't kind of like I guess I'm right in my wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the reason why I put hurting in there, 'cause we all know
Hmm.
church help once you get in and get
Right.
for real about it. But the reason why I put
Hmm.
hurting in there because some
Hmm.
people had the perspective that some men go to church, they feel like it's hurting them because they
Right.
don't want to. What the problem is, they don't want to part from the sinful life, so they feel like it's hurting them
Right.
in the
Right.
aspect, but they can't move like they used to move, and they can't do
Right.
whatever. But you and I both know, and anybody to go to church know it's helping. I just want to throw that in there
Right.
because I want to
Oh
let
yeah.
the men know, like, hey, it ain't hurting you. You just got to
Right.
part from that bullshit that you're doing because I got to, I always have a scripture for them. I got to give
Yeah.
one
Go
to
ahead
the
on, drop
men
it.
and women if they
Right.
want to take it. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a
Hmm.
child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man or a woman,
Hmm.
I put away childish things. That's First Corinthians 13 and verse 11. So
Right.
the point that you're making, like, hey, you trying to right the wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of you became you now you're a man. You understanding like,
Right.
hey, bro, I did some cruddy stuff.
Yeah. Right. And like you said, to touch bases back on what you said about the guys that talking about churches hurting them when they going to church. Now that's
Yeah.
because, like I said, they still out there.
Yeah, they
That's
halfway in,
why they say
halfway
it's hurt.
out.
Right. And see, like I said, when you come into Christ and you start church, go to
Yeah.
church like that, it's a lot of things that you can't do. It's some places that you can't go no more.
No
It's
more,
some
dog.
stuff,
It's
like I said,
over.
some stuff that you can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you didn't have fun when you was out there sinning, hey, oh, I feel for you, cause
yeah. Let it
it's
go.
fun when you out there. But
Hmm.
we was able to, Lord was able to keep us, and
For
then we was
sure.
able to make it through it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
out of the sin.
Yes, sir.
Well,
So
out of the
any
world.
yeah, so any advice to get to the men that in church and think now
Hmm.
that we talked about a little bit, but you got any advice? Because
Right.
I got some advice
Go
to
ahead,
any
drop it.
men that's in church
Hmm.
that think church may be hurting them. It ain't. I'm just letting
No.
y'all know now. Y'all got to get y'all little selves together and stop
Right.
running like you so eloquently put it, Doc. You know what I'm saying? Y'all y'all gotta separate, Doc. You gotta
Yeah,
let it
man.
go. Kids, because now you gotta think about it. You're going from just dad to like a
Hmm.
for real role model. So now they
Right.
looking at you, watching how you do in church. If you go
Right.
around there and you put a dollar in, they're gonna do the same thing because you pass everyone of them a dollar down the
Right.
row. And
Right.
they're gonna do the same thing you doing. So now if you
Right.
go into church and they don't ever see you pray, guess what they ain't gonna do? They
Exactly.
probably they probably ain't gonna pray, Doc. So my advice
Yep.
to y'all is like if you get yourself in a good church, we both
Right.
in good churches on a good
Hmm.
leadership, and then follow the leadership. If he said fast, fast. If he said
Hmm.
pray, pray for your family, pray. If he
Right.
say, if he say some old crazy stuff like, "Hey man,"
Yeah, you'll
then
know what that is.
you
You'll
already
know, yeah.
know. You
Cause like I
just
said,
get yourself in the right place.
you from the street. That's one thing that help you about being streetwise too. You'll know that bull when you
Got it.
hear it.
You got it
You
right
got
here,
it when
Doc.
you be like, nah, dog, we ain't gonna do this right here.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
dog.
I'm saying?
You ain't
They
meeting with my
don't
wife by yourself, Doc. We ain't finna do none of
right.
that.
Yeah, see,
You
that's
can
where the
meet with
boys get it
me in
mixed
there.
up at. Right. Right. And
Yeah,
yeah, man, and like you said too, man, as far as like you said, helping the guys,
yeah.
or they feel like what you said, feel like they ain't being helped, or feel
No,
like it's
I was just saying, like any advice you can give them, like they would that because we was talking about it, feel like that
okay.
because it kind of ran into them like church
Right.
is hurting them, and
Right.
as I said, it really ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Just
So
yeah, one thing, man, another thing, man, just man up. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it.
You ain't gotta be
That's all,
ashamed to go to
Doc.
church.
You
It's in
don't.
our roots, it's in our DNA, our parents, our grandparents,
Yep.
everybody that's I ain't using a black and white thing. I'm just use black people for training
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah.
All black people got some church in them.
All of them,
We we
Doc.
we done came from the ground up. So just grab your roots, man, and just you know what I'm saying. Like it ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Put
You
away them
know?
childish things, Doc,
Yeah.
and be a man. Like you said, just man
Right.
up. The scripture
Just
said it.
man up. Yeah, cause some guys be like, "Oh man, you talking about you going to church in the morning, man? When you, oh man, man, don't even
What
worry
you
about
talking
that, man.
about,
Them
bro?
cats, yeah, them cats gonna still be at the store waiting for you when you get
Yep.
out of church. Talking about, hey man, let me hold something.
And when your
You know what I'm
lifestyle
saying?
progressing and you start moving and they see the change, and then eventually, that's when you start becoming an evangelist. So you got to get it, you start
Right,
evangelizing. So you got to get in where you fit in. And I forgot to
right.
tell you what we were talking about tonight, but what we talking about
Go
tonight
ahead.
is when I thought as a child, let me make sure I give you all the right one. When
Right,
I thought as a child, that's what I want. That was I was intending to give you the title.
right.
When I thought as a child, that's what the name of it is. But now that you're a
Hmm.
man, because when you thought as a
Hmm.
child, you thought like a child. You was in the streets. You thought
Right,
running around with different women was the thing. You had like
right,
18 women. You was the man.
right.
Now,
You know what I'm saying?
now it's hard for some of them to just take one and settle down. But that's part of being a man, dog.
Right.
Stop running.
And yeah, man, like you said too, man, like the man up portion of this.
Yeah,
Like I said, man, just man up, man. Like you said, when you see them start to elevate,
yeah,
You know, a lot of guys I think what they're afraid of too. When they start taking initiative and they start going to
Mm-hmm.
church with their family and
Yep.
stuff like that, they worried about the outside noise.
Yeah, what the people gonna say? Because the people
Yeah, oh
is
man,
yep,
that dude, man, he go to church. You know, I shouldn't,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna use that word, but you know, man, man,
It didn't
he
come
go,
off like that.
he, yeah, he go to church now. You know, he think he all that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it ain't like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? You know,
It ain't
and
like that, dog.
yeah,
And there's one place I'll say I learned this from shout out to B, the worship leader, right? So he told me, he said,
mm-hmm,
he told us he says one place that
mm-hmm.
you won't get booed, and that's in church. So if you
You
sing
right?
bad, they ain't gonna boo you. They're gonna
You right?
you come
Hey,
on, baby, you got it now.
yeah,
You got it.
that's what I was getting ready
Let
to
him
say. You know
use
the
you.
yeah, you know the mother's gonna be in the background like, come on, baby, let him use you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
saying,
so
so
you
I'm
know,
saying that to say, like, hey, you in the church, you ain't got to worry about it. It's just when you leave,
right?
you got to block out the noise and just
Yeah,
keep going. Every Tuesday, however they have it, every Tuesday,
right.
Wednesday, or every Sunday, you just got to keep going till you get to the place where you're able to ignore it. That's it.
And like you said, man, key too, man, you get you a good church, man, a good
Yeah.
family vibe church or whatever. When you come in, they gonna welcome you in, man. You just come. And another thing too, man, is
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I said before I started going, I said that before,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, hard thing is you know, like you know how it is, man. You know, trying to get up on Sunday morning.
Yeah, dog. When you ain't
Like,
used
and
to getting up.
I mean that's something simple, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Like yo, man, I stayed up all night Saturday, man. I ain't going to church, man. NFL
Yeah.
today getting ready to come on. You know, I'm
Yeah.
getting ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, and but like I said, man, once you get past that stuff, man,
Yeah.
you'll be all right, man. People welcome you in.
Yeah.
You know,
And with that being said, y'all, my man, hey, we laid it out for you. You know, when I spoke as a child, I gave you some scripture. I give you one more time just in case. First Corinthians
go
13
ahead.
and verse 11. Y'all go read it. Hey, thanks for
That's
joining
right.
Man Talk 133. Until next time, we out. Y'all like, comment,
We out.
subscribe, share. Help us get to 5,000. I said 10,000. Y'all do what y'all do.
Hey, that'll
Until
work.
next time, right? Until next time, we out.
We